Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance on hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So today, this is gonna be a really hard video for me to talk about, okay? There's gonna be some really shocking elements to this video. And there's some reasons why I haven't put this out there yet, okay? It's gonna be hard. Now listen, I'm asking y'all because I love y'all very much and I trust y'all. And that's why I feel like I'm at the point that I can tell y'all this. I don't want to see any hate in the comment section down below to any other person that I'm talking about in this video. If you guys, and I know that y'all won't because y'all are sweet little angels and y'all have hearts of gold, but if anybody does leave hate comments to maybe the other person that I'm going to talk about in this video, I'm going to delete the comments because that's not what we do over here, and I also want to respect my son, okay? So here we go. Okay, let's just start at the beginning. Okay, so first of all, this was Jeremy in high school. I used to have the biggest crush on him in high school. I used to be like, Jeremy Randall is so fine. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Okay, he was so fine. He's still fine, and I married him. Okay, we won't talk about that. But anyways, so I used to have the biggest crush on him in high school, and he ran with Riff Raff too. Like, we were all a street crowd. We was all doing things, crazy things. And yeah, he got into a lot of trouble. Got a girl pregnant in high school. Not saying that that's trouble, but you know, it's not necessarily ideal. I'm glad that he did because now we have Jordan and he's absolutely amazing. But I'm just telling you, I'm just saying, I'm painting you guys a picture, okay? Papa was a rolling stone, if you know what I mean, and he had his, how would I put this? Promiscuous days? So, yes, I had the biggest crush on him in high school, and I still remember to this day, and he will tell you this too. Actually, I remembered it, and I never said this to him until, like, I want to say 9 years ago or whatever, we were dating, and he brought it up to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, what happened was one time when we were in high school, you know how in high school they have those pavilions outside that's like awnings, and you walk on these cement things, and the awnings are supposed to protect you from the rain, You go under them to go from class to class. And I was first semester in 9th grade because I dropped out first semester in 9th grade. And me and him walked by each other and we made this eye contact for a long time. And I was like, oh, like, God, that thing's sexy. And he was just looking at me and I was looking at him. But I was hard back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't chasing me, boy, bye. So anyways, that's how it was. And he actually mentioned that to me, like I said, years back, and was like, do you remember that time we made eye contact for a long time under the pavilions? I was like, oh, boy, you remember that? Like, no, what are you talking about? I don't remember that. Like, when was that? So, okay, now we're about to get crazy. So that was the foundation, right? Okay, here we go. If you have not watched my Why I Went to Prison story video, I suggest y'all watch that first. I'm going to leave it linked below. Here we go. Don't judge me. I'm shaking thinking about this. Okay. So rewind it back now. Y'all remember that fight I told you about where I got into the fight with the two girls at a party on my 18th birthday? I don't know if I said it was my birthday, but anyways, and I ended up taking that car and hitting the other car with it, right? Well, after I finished hitting the other car, I hauled butt and I went to a friend's house, and I had blacked out whenever I was hitting the car, so I didn't know if anybody was hurt. I didn't know anything, and that I could have really hurt somebody. Thank you God that I didn't, but I really could have, and I was so wrong. So wrong, okay? So I hauled butt, I go to a friend's house, and I called back at the house where the party was, and I was like, is everybody okay? And my girlfriend was like, girl, there was a baby in the back seat of that car. And I was like, what? A baby? Like, I would have never thought in a million years that there would have been anybody in the back seat of that car with the two girls out fighting with me, much less a baby, because it was the middle of the night and it was in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, who? Moving on. So I was like, is the baby okay? Like, what's it? They're like, yes, he's fine. It's a little boy. He's fine. But, you know, girl, you went crazy. And my friends were saying, I thought you were going to kill yourself. They were like, you snapped. And I was like, oh my gosh. So one of the homeboys jumped on the phone. He said, that was Jeremy Randall's baby mama you fought. And I was like, oh, Are y'all putting the dots together yet? That little boy in the back seat of that car was Jordan. Yes, my Jordan, okay? And the reason why I haven't told y'all this story yet is because I don't want anybody to attack his mom in this situation, because I just don't. I respect my son, and because of that, I respect his mom. You know, whether I agree with everything she does or not, I show her respect and kindness and love because I love my son, and I think that's the way it should go. And I just ask y'all to do the same thing because y'all love me. Okay, moving on. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe. So anyways, that haunted me. And that's when I bucked and went to New Orleans and all that. That haunted me for years and years and years. Even though Jordan wasn't hurt, still the principle of the thing. You guys, I would never hurt a kid. I would never. I don't care whose kid it is. I don't care if it's your kid. I don't care if it's a kid on the side of the road. I don't care if it's a kid in Walmart. I would never, ever hurt a kid. But that's what happens when you do things like I was doing. Drinking underage, at parties, not caring, not thinking. You do stupid stuff and people can really get hurt. And it is only by the grace of God that nobody seriously got injured, because I could have really hurt somebody. And when I think about that, even though it's been so long ago, it still makes me mad at myself. You know, like I shouldn't have done that. I was wrong, okay? So fast forward, I go to prison, I get out of prison, I do all this stuff. And mind you, whenever I ended up turning myself in, I got put on probation. I told you about the 2 years probation. I made it 23 months out of 24 months, and I was violated driving on suspended license. In that 24 months, I paid every single bit of restitution. So I ended up paying her back all the money for the damage of the car. Can y'all see how this gets a little sticky, a little icky? Anyways, so moving on. Go to prison, I get out of prison. I went to that women's home. I get out of the women's home. I'm living on my own in another, in a roommate situation, and I'm going to school full time, and I'm working 2 jobs, and I get on MySpace. Now, this is the thing. You know how they add like recommended people? Well, because me and Jeremy had a lot of similar friends, it kept recommending Jeremy to me. It just kept recommending him. And I remember seeing his little profile picture, because their profile pictures back then were like little rectangular shapes. And it was Jeremy in a green shirt and Jordan in a green shirt on his back. And I just kept looking at his picture, and I wanted to like message him so bad and say, hey, that girl that did that a long time ago when your son was in the car, like that was me, and I'm so sorry. But I just did not have the guts to bring it up to him because I was so ashamed. I was so worried, like, like I would be mad if that was my kid. Like I would be so mad. And I was just, like literally guys, I'm shaking even thinking about this. It was just such a crazy situation. So eventually, boom, I get a friend request, and it's from Jeremy, okay? So I'm like, oh my gosh. I accepted it, but I didn't say a word to him. I didn't comment on any of the stuff. I didn't say anything to him. And then he started commenting on my pictures, and he would write like, zoom. You know how we wrote it like that? Like, and he would write that on my pictures. And then like eventually I didn't respond to him. I mean, I did get a little flustered because come on, it's Jeremy Randall. I'm like, he's so fine. But I still had this guilt behind my back. Like I did this, and his son, like he loves, like I look through all the pictures. It's nothing but pictures of him and Jordan. You can tell in the pictures he's an amazing dad. And I am so guilty. I feel horrible about this. So eventually he sends me a DM. He slid up into my DMs and he was like, hey, what's up? And usually I don't respond to messages like that. Now, side note, I'm there in South Florida working on myself. I had been asked out on dates by people at Publix, all kinds of people. I'm not trying to act like, oh, everybody was asking me on dates, but I had a couple people asking me on dates, and I would not even go on a date with anybody. I was so focused, okay? I wasn't DMing any guys. I wasn't talking to anybody. And right around this time, I hadn't been with a man in 5 years, and I was really proud of that. I hadn't kissed a man. I hadn't done nothing with a man, and I was going to save myself for the man that I was going to marry, right? So I had no intentions on dating anybody, but I had this guilt about Jordan, and I just wanted to apologize, but I was waiting for the right time because I was scared. So I kind of started talking to him, and I was just like, I had a crush on you in high school, right? And he was like, girl, why didn't you tell me? Like, dang, like, oh man, I had a crush on you too. Like, we should have got together. And I told him, I was like, no, you wouldn't have wanted to know me back then, because I was so messed up in the head. I would have ruined our relationship and we couldn't be friends now. So even though we were flirting back and forth, I still had this guilt. And my whole intentions to talk to him was to apologize to him about Jordan. I had no desire in being with him because I was focused on my goals, right? So it just so happens to find out that his family lived down in Orlando, which is right by Lakeland, and my grandmother lived where he lived. So it was really weird because it was like, you know what I'm saying? We had to travel back and forth anyways to see our family, but still I thought it was weird, whatever. So he asked me for my phone number. We started texting, and he would text me every morning when he woke up, on his lunch break, and when he got off of work. And he just started like being very loyal to me, even though we weren't official or anything like that. So this is the end of 2009 at this point, okay? And I still, like, I'm being nice to him, but I'm just waiting for the moment. I'm waiting for the moment. So 2 weeks, I'll never forget. I couldn't take it anymore. 2 weeks we were talking, and I said, can you just call me? And this is the first time we actually talked on the phone. We had been texting prior to that. Can you just call me? He's like, sure, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I was sitting there on my computer doing homework. This is actually a picture of me that night, okay? So he gets on the phone, and I was like, hey. And he was like, hey. And I was like, I really need to tell you something. And he was like, okay. He was like, is everything okay? And I was like, listen, please don't hate me. And I understand if you do hate me. And I was like, but I just have to tell you this. I said, that crazy chick that hit the car that had your baby mama and your son in it years and years and years ago, that was me. And he was like, I know. And I was like, you know? He was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, to be honest with you, yeah, I was mad. He said, but I was more concerned with why my baby mama had my son out in the hood in the middle of the night fighting anyways. He was like, Jordan should have never even been there. He was like, yeah, you were wrong. He was like, but that's what we did back then. I get that. That's what we did. We fought. And that part is true. Is unnormal as it shouldn't be. It should not be normal. It should not be normalized at all. In some areas, fighting is normal, unfortunately. And I hope I'm working to correct that and show y'all that it shouldn't be normal, and it's nothing to brag about, and it's nothing to be happy about. Like, there's so many other things that you should brag about with yourself, and fighting is definitely not one of them, okay? Unless you're like a Mai Tai in like competitions and stuff like that, or you know what I mean. So then later it was Christmas time, and I was going to come to this town where my grandma was to visit my grandma for the holidays, and he was coming back from Orlando, and I was kind of just texting him, and I told him where I was at. I was at the mall, and he was talking about this in the video of me and him. And I'm standing in the courtyard, and I'm standing in there with my girl. I'm in this town now. And around the corner, I see him and his homeboy come walking up. When I made eye contact with him, my heart dropped. I was like, oh my God. I was like, he is so fine. Like, dang, he's sexy. Like, oh. So he came walking up to me, and he was kind of like, he didn't have a lot of words like he was saying in the other video. He was trying to be hard, but you could tell he was kind of shy, and like, I don't know, there's something about that turns me on. A quiet man, a guy that's just like sits back and chills or whatever, like, I like that, because I'm such a loudmouth, right? I like guys that are just like, let me be me, and just like looking at you like, yeah, girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't even say nothing. Not all up in my face like, hey, girl, you fine, da, da, da. But just sits back and looks at you like, dang, but don't say nothing. Like, ooh, I love that. And that's exactly what he was doing. Okay, so fast forward. So we started hanging out, and I was in town for a week. So we went to the movies, and we went out with friends, and we hung out and all that. And I remember particularly this one night we were out, and this was the moment that I knew that something was special about him, because I was so attracted to him, and I felt like this was really weird because he actually made me feel safe in a weird way. It was nothing that I had ever felt with any other man before in my life, not even close to it. Like, he really went above and beyond to keep me, because I'm a runner, right? Like, I run from people, and that's how I was back then. If I felt you getting close to me, I would leave, because I didn't know how to be loved, okay? I didn't. I had never really been loved by... We'll just skip that part. But I didn't know how to be loved. So he made me feel safe. And this was the moment. One night we were out, and he was driving me back to the house where I was staying in town. And we sat out in the car, and I'll never forget. We had the seats back. We weren't doing anything, okay? Seats rolled all the way back, sitting in the driveway, and the music was playing. And it was Twista, that song Get It Wet, was playing really, really low. And we're laying there, and we talked for like an hour or two, just talking, like looking at each other. And then I remember this exact moment. We're staring at each other for about 5 minutes, not saying anything. And I thought, wow, this can't be real. And he looked at me and he said, oh, it's real. And I started crying because I thought that. I didn't even say it out loud. I just looked at him and said, I just looked at him and thought, this can't be real. And out loud, he looked at me and said, oh, it's real. Like, you guys, I had this feeling through my body that I had never felt before. So bizarre. And even if you ask him to this day at about that moment, he will say, I don't know why I said that, or I don't know what. He was like, but I just felt like I needed to tell you that this was real. How crazy is that? I was thinking, this can't be real. And he said, oh, it's real. That's what I mean by some supernatural, crazy things happened that brought us together. It was like everything perfectly aligned. His family was down there by me. My family was up here by him, which is my grandma. The situation with Jordan, otherwise I would have never talked to him on social media at all because I was so focused on going to school and working. I did not even want to have any kind of talks or relationships with anybody. He forgave me because of that and made me feel forgiven. I don't want to say he made me feel like it was okay, because it wasn't, and I wasn't asking that. I knew it wasn't, and still to this day, I feel horrible about it. And it's not just because it was Jordan. If it was any child, okay? Anybody. Any person. I shouldn't have done it, man. And then that moment. And then that solidified it for us. And yeah, so that's how we got together. Now, if you guys want to know more stories about how our relationships grew, how the ups and downs. So yes, and thank y'all for respecting my wishes about no hate to that person. Please, thank you. And let me know what y'all want to see in the next story time. I love you guys. Please don't forget to like this video. It's a free way that you can help your girl out. I love you guys so much. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.